What's up, guys? Welcome to another week of Chicken Bone Alley here. Quarantine week. What I say it was last week? 7? 6?
I think it's more than that, dude. I think it's like
it's semi-quarantine now. Anyway, I'm David.
I'm Sterling. How y'all doing?
It's semi-quarantine now, I guess. We're coming out. It's still quarantine.
It's still jacked up.
It's all jacked up.
It's jacked up.
Jacked up.
That's my little girl says. But anyway, yeah, man. This I don't know, dude. We keep on getting kind of. I think we just trying to play along with and play on the strings of whatever the government tells us to do. That's what I think we're doing.
Well, that's what they're going to tell us. They're going to tell us what they want us to do regardless. So
yeah, no matter what the amendment says, we're just going to do whatever they say.
Yes.
But anyway,
I think some businesses getting tired of it.
I'm pretty sure they are.
I think some of them just like, all right, we're about to open.
I'm telling you. I mean, they keep on. They're going to be 100,000 people a day dying from starvation.
I'm telling you.
I mean, they can do what they want, but, tells me go back to work. But anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, we ain't going to get into all the political.
How was your weekend?
Jive. Well, it's been pretty good. Weekend, I cut some grass. I did that fun stuff, did the household stuff and
the household stuff. You get your IRS and stuff kind of.
Well, I've started getting it set up there. I got part of the rig in the house. I got the rig in the house now. The part I'm using, and then me and you, we building a bit rest of it. So
that's right. We've got some pictures coming along there, everybody. It's gonna kind of look like my rig, pretty much the same thing, except for David's gonna have an actual racing seat by Michael. Thanks to Mr. Michael Butler.
Yeah, Mike Butler Racing. He was generous enough to give me a seat out of one of his old cars and stuff, and we're gonna set an actual oval track style car seat up on it just to make it look cool.
Absolutely.
More than anything.
Well, I mean, it's comfort too. I mean, dude, you run for 2 or 3 hours. I mean, you got to be comfortable in it. A lot of those sim seats really are not comfortable. Mine is, thank the Lord, but I finally got mine done. Mr. Everett Clark, which I think we talked about last week, he came Friday of last week and helped us set it all up, and it is fantastic. There's nothing like running a good computer with triple screens. I'm telling you what, dude.
Especially after what you did have there for a while.
It is night and day difference. But I enjoy it. I really do. It is fantastic. So I hope to have some videos or some pictures of it coming up soon. And David's rig, like I said, we're going to be building it in the next couple of weeks and getting it going. So I'm excited for that. But so grass cutting is the excitement of your weekend, huh?
No, that was. Well, I came over here with you Friday some, and we set up the computers a little bit, and I went and got my wife's car, got the windows tinted on her car.
About that, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. And she rode in it one time since then. She's been working from home, so
that's awesome though. You save some fuel mileage, save some gas money.
We're getting like 3 months to a gallon, so
that's awesome. That is damn awesome.
I like that.
Well, I went to.
How about yours? What'd you?
Yeah, I went down to Bucksport. I don't know if anybody around here is familiar with Bucksport Landing down in. I guess it's kind of Socastee area. I guess I don't know really. I don't really know where that's at.
Butt crack of nowhere.
It's in the Waccamaw / Intercoastal Waterway deal there, and me and my wife, we went down and fished a little bit in the Waccamaw. Had real good luck till about 12 o'clock. Then it got so windy it was unbearable. You couldn't stand out there. So we rode a little bit. We rode to Georgetown and enjoyed that. Got to see a good bit of scenery and had a good time. And I went back with a good buddy of ours, Scott Shear. We went down to his boat Sunday.
Yeah, when your fishing buddy's supposed to go fishing with you, he didn't get invited.
Hey, Let me go and tell you this whole story, and then I'm gonna go back. So yeah, Scott called me at like 8:00, 8:30 Saturday night, or his wife did, Miss Stacy. So anyway, she's like, he's going fishing. You know, so I'm gonna go with him. I ain't gonna let him go by himself. That ain't right. So I said, I'd like to get Dave to go with us. You know, that'd be cool. And she said, well, you know, there's only a 2-person minimum or limit if you're not on house. So I was like, well, I don't really think they're enforcing that, but well, I don't want to get okay because okay, whatever. So that's fine. So anyway, me and Scott went, which I enjoyed it. I really did. Scott's a good fella, and I want to go with him some more. And I told him while he was on the boat, David and myself would like to go some more with him and go out and we're gonna try to do a little bit of offshore fishing.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Me and you, neither one ain't ever done a whole lot of saltwater stuff.
We're gonna try to get that. I enjoy it, I really do. And fishing in Winyah Bay right there in Georgetown, you know, I can do that in my boat. So we're gonna try to do that some, trying to learn that a little bit, and going out a little bit offshore, a little ways, be fun. When the wind's right, when it's windy as it was Sunday, that ain't too fun. I ain't gonna lie, because that is rough. We was right there at the jetties. We was I think it's about 6 foot waves. It was rough, bro.
Yeah, I bet so. Which wouldn't do good for me and my vertigo anyway.
No, I probably
I'm that guy.
It probably wouldn't. So, but anyway, we had a good time. It's beautiful down there. If any of you guys got any kind of suggestions of where to fish down in that area, let us know. We're going to try to do that a little bit more often when we can. But I don't know, man. We had a little bit of racing come back this week. I know a lot of iRacing going on. We've been trying to do a lot of that, kind of keep up with that and do some of that. But had some actual racing come on. I know kind of like South Dakota and all that.
They had a couple races in South Dakota out there. They said originally they were going to have fans, up to 700 fans, and they come back. South Dakota's governor kind of didn't like that too much, so they ended up having no fans at it, which I guess that's for the best, I reckon. I don't know. I guess if you got stands like that, I guess I can understand it a little more because everybody's sitting on top of each other. I reckon. I don't know. My personal thought about it is, it's free country, and if I want to risk that myself, then I can risk it. But anyway, that's just me.
I agree with you 100%.
But yeah, we had some more racing. We had race I was actually somewhat involved in. We had the Thursday Night Thunder Series back last Thursday before the weekend.
Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of start off with, Chicken Bone Alley helped kind of put this whole deal on, and
that's right.
NRN Broadcast came aboard to call the race and broadcast, and they did a phenomenal job. They had a little bit of problems to start with, trying to get everything scheduled or squared away volume wise, but.
Yeah, that wasn't no big deal.
That's no big deal. Crap. Everybody has that problem. So
the drivers' meeting was something else. Woo, Jesus. Had a bunch of new guys in there, and you could really tell it. But, it was all good. So we got through a week of it there. So maybe they'll have it all figured out come these next few weeks on the Thursday Night Thunder Series. And if y'all have not checked out our social medias or anything like that, we kind of held off. We didn't want to just say, oh, we got us a super shoe in there, and so Corey Gordon, he's Chicken Bone Alley's driver in the 360 sprints and the Pro Late models on the Thursday Night Thunder Series, along with me in the Pro Late models. But he's making me look bad out there.
No, you do not do bad at all. Corey is very, very talented at iRacing and driving a Pro Late model, period. But
yeah.
But anyway, it is very cool to have him on board and running with us. Looking forward to hearing or seeing what he can do this week.
Well, it's so cool because, y'all know we're new, And if y'all have watched any of the races we've been talking about that's been on FS1 or anything like that, you've seen that he's won at Knoxville. He won a bunch of other races with the World Outlaws tours and on iRacing. But he's a very talented late model driver himself. I mean, real late model, not just on iRacing. But he's very talented, and so he's come on board with us. I sent him a message. I said, "Hey man, we got a series coming up. I'd love for you to drive for us in it." And he said, "Heck yeah, man, I'd love to get in it." So we talked with him and set it all up and got him set up, and he's doing it to it, son.
Yeah, he can roll, man. He is very, very well. Very good on iRacing by all means, but I know he's running Charlotte a lot. He's from the Charlotte area. He's run Charlotte a lot, done very well there. But dude, I'm telling you what, I think we got us a good driver for the remainder of the little series, and I'm hoping for the big $3,000 to win and $2,000 to win little showdown. I think he's gonna be ready for that.
I think it should be. The
Eldora, right?
That Eldora come to 4 Crown Nationals, as our buddy Terry Odom's calling it. And I'll go ahead and tell y'all, I know we put a post up, said Terry Odom was going to be on with us tonight. He just messaged me a minute ago, said he ended up having to work late and he wasn't going to be able to make it tonight. So sorry about that, guys. We'll try to have him on probably maybe next week or something. And we'll get him on here and talking about this whole series a little more. Yeah, going back to it, the 360s though, started, like I said, Sterling said, NRN, the National Racing Network, was broadcasting it. If y'all haven't already checked them out, we are sharing at least our races that we're in. They have, it looks like, I was looking at all their posts. It looked like they do multiple races a night.
Yeah, they stay busy.
I'm telling you. And then they do real tracks, real short tracks. Also,
Pennsylvania area.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania area and stuff. So, but it was an awesome broadcast. Very well done. Very, very, very professional. They do a great job at it.
Absolutely. Y'all definitely check them out. They'll be back live tomorrow night. We're going to definitely tag that broadcast on our Facebook page. It should be starting, I guess, right around 8 o'clock. I think it's about what time it started last week.
Yeah. I think
so. Everybody be looking out for that. They're gonna be running at Lanier, the dirt Lanier, of course. I know that runs asphalt and dirt, used to anyway in Georgia. They'd be running there. We David and myself actually ran some there last night or 2 nights ago. Kind of get a feel of it in the pro late model. It's gonna be an interesting race. It's a lot tighter than Charlotte.
I'm looking forward to that, actually.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot better race. It slicks off. When it slicks off, it goes to the top. I mean, you can actually run the bottom. You just got to be very, very smooth, because it is so hard to be smooth on the bottom once it slicks off. But if you can run the bottom, you're gonna be fast. It's just very difficult to do. It's so hard coming off a 4 especially, but coming off a 2 and 4, once it slicks off, it's tough. So it'll be an interesting race. It'll be a whole lot tighter, probably a lot more, I'd say a lot more beating and banging in this race versus in Charlotte. But
I don't know if it can be much more beating and banging.
Well, I don't know, dude. I think a lot of them guys got to chill out a little bit. I mean, we're going to kind of get back into that some, but God knows, bro, they got to chill out some. They got to just race. They got to just race their race. Not beat and bang everybody and try to freaking kill somebody for the win.
Well, I know there's money on the line. I understand it. Everybody wants to win, but you got to race respectful. And it's like me and Sterling said all the time out here. The biggest difference is when you're running these races, you can go in there and just pull a dirty slider on somebody, as they like to call it, and door them and put them in the wall and everything else. And you ain't got to worry about no consequences after you get out the car. I mean, that's the biggest thing. But anyway, let's go back to Charlotte for a little while. Talk about the races actually there. We had the 360 sprints for the first race of the Thursday Night Thunder Series. And guess what? Our boy Corey the Flash Gordon wins the 360 sprints.
He got it going on, I'm telling you what. And he talking about, well, I hadn't really had a whole lot of time in driving the 360 sprint, and I don't drive a sprint car. And, I don't do.
Well, maybe he needs to.
I'm thinking he kind of needs to drive that sprint car a little bit more because he looked fantastic. I mean, qualifying, he looked fantastic. He controlled the race, and I mean, a lot of it was controlled by caution.
Well,
but
there was caution at the first, and there was a couple cautions right there at the end, but there wasn't a ton of cautions in it.
Well, no, there wasn't. But that's a big thing about iRacing, especially if you can run up front and qualify well, and start up front, you can pretty much control your own race, especially if you start from the pole.
Well, you definitely can. I mean, now it's easy, and it happened. Going through the rest of the top. I got top 4 listed here. Jake Fromke finished second. Richard Murtaugh finished third. And my buddy Darren Cole finished fourth in the 360s. But anyway, let me go back to it a minute there. One of those last restarts, Corey qualified pole and was leading the majority of the race. One of those last restarts, Corey started on the inside, and it's tough actually starting on the inside. You'd rather start outside.
Yeah, and once the track stays off, absolutely.
Yeah. Once that track gets some wear on it, the line is on the wall.
On the wall.
And so Corey started inside. Well, he went in the corner, and it slid up. Well, the guy on the outside got a better entry. He pulled a slide job on him. Well, fortunately, Corey was able to cross over and take the lead back. But so it was kind of exciting. And
it was a good race.
Them boys was driving it up front anyway.
It was definitely a good race. I mean, there was a little bit of cautions and all that up front or towards the back, but it was a good race. Corey did very well. He controlled the race very well, and once that line moved to the top, I'm telling you, man. I mean, he put the right rear freaking 6 inches off the wall and kept it there. That's very hard to do. I've said that before. On iRacing, it is very hard to do. So, I'm very satisfied with how he performed in the Scott Bloom. I mean, in the Chicken Bone Alley 360 sprint.
And,
And I tell you what, I think he would have definitely performed just as well in the Pro Late model.
Well, he was performing just as well, and he did perform just as well, really. Moving on to the pros, I was in that race. I had nothing to talk about really in that race.
You made it to the finish.
I made it to the finish.
Made it to the finish, bro.
Anyway, Corey qualified second, I want to say, on that one. Anyway, it was good. We actually had a good long run there at the beginning. Ran quite a few laps. Had a couple cautions. I was involved in one of the cautions. Somebody right reared me and just didn't let out the gas at all to give me no room and whatever. I mean, it's a racing thing, but it's all right. I remember.
Well, it's a lot. Yeah, it's hard to give and take on there, and I don't know why they don't, but I wish people would take it more seriously and give and take a little bit, not trying to win the whole thing in one lap.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, you see, there were so many times in that race, and I know, and I'm not bragging at all, but there were so many times that I would come out of a corner, and I'd be on the outside, and somebody would wash up the track, and yeah, I could have stayed right there where I was and just turned them into the wall and took the position from them. But, trying to be respectful to everybody out there, because we all paid to enter these races. And so to be respectful to everybody out there, I would let off and, give him a little bit of room because I know how it is coming up off the bottom. The track's slick. But there were so many people that will not do it. They will not give you an inch. And I understand it is racing. I'm not whining about that at all. I understand it's racing and you're supposed to take all you can. But look at it for the long run. You're not looking at it for that one lap. You can't, checker flag don't fall every lap. I promise.
Yes, it's hard to say, but I think that had a lot to do with, or that's got a lot to do with trying to get iRacing kind of more realistic. Because people don't have to face each other. People don't have to worry about damaging the cars, whatever. But every time I have noticed it, every time I have done it myself, if you take the time, let somebody go. If you're faster than them, you can pick them back up. You can pass them. So just kind of just give them that little bit of time. See if you can catch them back. And
I've got the fix for it all. I really do. I got the fix for it all. All they got to do, start posting everybody's address.
There you go. Hey, I'll drive 14 hours to whoop somebody's ass.
I'm telling you.
Over iRacing.
Or sell them a bag of dog turds or something. I don't know.
No, but I mean, just race respectful, guys. I mean, just get on there. All these guys are paying for this. It's not something you get on a official race or a hosted deal that's free, and you just go on there and just upset people. A lot of people want to do that. A lot of people want to just go on there and just make everybody's day bad. But we try to do this seriously, and I think a lot of guys that joined this series want to do that too. So looking forward to that. I know once we get a little bit later into the super late race,
pro lates,
or the pro late. Sorry. I don't think a lot of give and take was as forgiving there. But
well, you kind of tell the story of the race because I was in the race. I didn't get to see much of the racing up front, so I
watched a lot of it.
Give us the story of the race.
Well, Richard Murtaugh and I think Richard started pole. I'm pretty sure he did. Corey was right up there, and they ran really good together. Honestly, they did from what I could see. Corey gave him room. He kind of set him up a little bit over a long run. What little bit of a long run they had to start with. And from what I could see, Corey set him up and he passed him. I mean, he got into him a little bit coming off 4. He let him go, but he ended up passing him. And Richard kind of get a little bit of dirty slide jobs on him. And I honestly don't think Corey could come back from that.
Yeah, I think it messed up his car a little bit.
I think it messed up his front a little bit. So, but from there, I don't think Corey could really make up any time, and he ended up finishing 5th to start with. But Hunter McCoy on the last restart on the last green white checker, I think it was 3 green white checkers or 2 or whichever it was.
2 because I caused the first one kind of.
Okay,
when I got right reared.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
But Hunter McCoy jumped to start bad, real bad, and you could see it. They didn't say anything about it to start with on the broadcast because it wasn't announced. But after the win, he got DQ'd, which I agree with 100%. He definitely jumped to start. So they gave it to Richard Murtaugh, which, dude, like I say, in my opinion, he roughed up a lot of people in that race. It wasn't just Corey. He roughed up whoever he got to.
Yeah, he was. And, he was giving it all he had. And I mean, like I said, you're running for money. I understand but he was roughing them up
exactly.
now.
Exactly. I get it. I understand it. But
don't mean I like it.
He's got to understand there's more races to come. So you kind of got to give and take a little bit, in my opinion.
My thought is on that is he just qualified himself for a guaranteed spot as long as he runs the rest of the races. He's got a guaranteed spot at Eldora now.
Right.
So does Corey. I'm just going to say Corey. There was a couple more in there. But Corey was the one who probably affected the most because Corey was in the lead when he just doored him something.
Oh, it was terrible.
I mean, slammed him in the wall.
Yeah.
So, I don't think Corey's that type of driver because I've talked to him quite a bit, and I don't think he's that kind of driver to do it. But as all drivers, they don't forget. They don't forget. And when there's $3,000 on the line,
Absolutely
that's a good time to remember.
Good time to do a nasty slide job. I ain't gonna lie. 'Cause, hey, I did one the other night, and it was nasty, but it was pretty.
It was pretty.
So I'm telling you what, you can do it.
Me and Sterling was practicing together, he parked me right in.
That's the way you do it.
1 and 2 at Lanier, and I had to plumb stop and get back going because he just stopped right in front of me on that slide job. There was no forward momentum there.
Absolutely right.
It was all sideways.
Well,
anyway,
kind of going back a little bit, Darren Cole finished 4th in the 360 sprint race, and I want to kind of talk a little bit more about him. David, I know he's got a little bit more ties to him. He's been talking to him a good bit about his business, and I'm kind of going to give that hand to David.
Yeah, Darren Cole, he does 300 customs on as far as iRacing. He does digital design and stuff as far as paints and everything. And he did me and Sterling some car. Well, he did me a car originally. That was we were talking about it, and I was like, man, he was running to the races with us, and I was like, man, I need some SRI came on with us along with Draco Springs and Stock Car Steel, and I needed Stock Car Steel and SRI and Draco all put on my car. He said, man, I can take care of that for you. So he made me up a car. He did a quick one last week because it was a pretty last minute deal, and so it was just kind of gray and stuff last week, and had the sponsors on there and everything. So he said, man, as soon as the race is over stuff, and I get back to work on it, and so he worked on us some cars, and he's got us some. We posted them on our Facebook. Y'all go check them out. And like I said, his name's Darren Cole. He's with 300 Customs on there, and I think he made us some late models. He worked us up some street stocks, and he's working on some cup cars now. And so it's pretty cool. And if you look at mine and Sterling's, we kind of got inverted paint schemes.
Yes, sir.
For Chicken Bone Alley.
Yeah, same paint scheme, just inverted a little bit there. And tell you what, he does a freaking awesome job, man. They look very, very realistic. I love it. Looking forward to see what the cup car looks like. I think I'm gonna run the black scheme on the asphalt stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. If we get any more done, you do. I'm doing the black scheme on dirt. You do the black scheme on the asphalt.
Yeah, we'll kind of invert that a little bit more, but we're gonna try to get him to do a little bit more stuff. Whatever we run, we're gonna try to get him to do. So, y'all go give him definitely give him a like. Check him out on Facebook. Get in touch with him. He is very talented. By all means, he can do some fantastic work.
Yeah, y'all definitely check him out. 300 Customs is the name on Facebook. He just sent me some stuff before we started the podcast here, actually, and he's working on some cool stuff, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, well, like you just heard talking about there, we had to get our sponsors put on the car.
Absolutely, man. Thankfully, we got some good support here at SRI Performance.
Yeah, SRI Performance, along with Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, and Draco Springs. Man, if you got a race car, and you guys, it is getting about that time. I know y'all started at the first of the year, might have ran a couple races. Well, you know what you got to fix now. Well, SRI Performance has got any and everything that you could possibly need.
Yeah, they do, man. Like we said before, like you said, people bought up a lot of stuff. They're getting ready for racing. Racing season starting. Let's go. All right. Everybody's harded for 10, 12 weeks now, whatever it is. I don't know.
Forever.
Yeah. So, people's got to regroup and get some more stuff rolling. They're still working. They're still shipping. So check out SRI. Please get with them. Find out what they got. Y'all order it. It's going to be there very soon. Let's get ready to roll because it's time to race.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's getting real close. Make sure to go to sriperformance.com. Find them on there and find all these deals right now. And when y'all get this, it will be April 30th, so it will be the last day to order right now. Valvoline Pro V Racing Oil, 55-gallon drum. And you know that's going to last y'all a while. Regularly $25.99 until the end of the day today on the 30th. Well, it's actually 29th right now, but it'll be 30th when y'all hear this. So, so end of the April 30th, it is on sale for $1,999.
Yeah, that's a heck of a deal, dude. I'm telling you, you're gonna use it. Oh, don't go bad. So get it. And guess what? When you get done, like I said, you use the barrel for a fire barrel.
You got a good fire barrel.
When you're done, when you use up all y'all, it's wintertime, it's cold, it's crap.
And it's Valvoline, so it's pretty in blue too. So
it's beautiful. That's what I do. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to buy me. I just want to just use the barrel. So I'm about to just buy me. I use it for something.
If you want to go the quart route,
whichever
route,
one it's called.
It's regularly $14.39 until the end of the 30th, April 30th. You can get $10 a quart.
Yep. I tell you what, man. There's so many deals. Y'all keep on looking on their website, but I'm gonna tell you what. Aeromotive, they still got that deal going on from last week to the end of the month. Buy a pump and get a filter free. Don't forget that. That filter is $105.
Yeah, that's an expensive little something. It's an expensive little filter. I think I need a fuel filter on my truck right now. Can I put one of them on it?
I think you can try it. I mean, I think it may fit, but it's worth a shot.
I think I'm gonna try it
But I'm telling y'all,
my truck had like it was bogging a little bit. I think I need a fuel filter.
It probably was.
I'm gonna have to get the pump and everything. Probably
it's windy, but that probably had a lot to do with it.
But
no, I'm telling y'all look at that. Look at it, and I'm telling you, all y'all guys, I ain't seen nobody buy no Logitech wheel adapters. I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all need to buy y'all some wheel adapters. Just buy them.
I see so many pictures out there with y'all with all these G27s, G25s, G920s. I see all y'all got that little teeny wheel that comes on it.
Crappy wheel. Y'all need y'all actual racing wheel. If y'all gonna be real racers running, y'all need to have a real racing wheel.
So you need to go right now to sriperformance.com. Click on the link at the top of the page. It's a little banner at the top of the page. Comes up, shows you Logitech wheel adapter made by MPI. You need to click on that and buy you one. It is $45 right now.
I'm going to tell you what. I got one right now. I'll sell y'all. But mine is a whole lot more than $45. But if y'all want it, y'all can get it.
Well, I mean, because that's how much they're worth. Once you get them, it's like, I won't take nothing for it.
Exactly, because I love it. I love mine. I love the bigger wheel. It's a lot more realistic.
So, yeah, guys, make sure you go to sriperformance.com and get everything you're going to need for your race car, for your sim rig, as far as your MPI wheel adapter.
Everything.
Get they got MPI wheels on there too. That adapter's gonna fit any MPI wheel. So make sure to get that. I think I'm gonna have some. They actually sent us. I just got in the mail the other day. I hadn't put it all together yet. They sent us a bunch of decals and stuff like that. So I think be checking our social media stuff, because I'm gonna try to put. I got a little vinyl cutter myself. I'm gonna make us some Chicken Bone Alley stickers. We're gonna do a little sticker packs that we're gonna send out to some people. And so be checking our Facebook and all our social medias and stuff. We'll have it all on there. So yeah, guys, remember SRI Performance, stock car steel and aluminum, Draco Springs. SRI Performance is your one-stop shop for all things racing.
Absolutely, man. Keep it going. Keep them busy.
Yeah, they about to be busy, I think, because
it's coming on now.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back. We're coming out of this quarantine.
I hope. I hope. One thing I saw on SRI was a Hendrix seat, man. And I know you told me a lot about it, but David's been looking for a seat to run iRacing. And an actual racing seat, which I think we talked about, but kind of looking into that, he found an actual Hendrix seat, used Hendrix seat, carbon fiber Hendrix seat, built by Hendrix for a cup car.
Yep.
For $6,000.
$6,000. And that's half off.
That's half off.
That's half off.
It's unbelievable. For a cup car seat. Why? Why does it cost that? I don't understand.
Solid carbon fiber.
I just don't understand it. I'm sorry. I just don't understand it.
It's pretty cool. I mean, well, what's cool about it is it's top-notch seat. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
It's built at Hendrick Motorsports. Top-notch seat. I was talking to our buddy Mike Butler the other day when I went and picked up the seat from him. Even the class he's running in now, which is USA Crate Late Models, it's a nationwide deal. That way they have the same rules. They can go to all these different tracks and run. It's the same rules everywhere.
For street stock, whatever, it's that still.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's as long as they're under that sanction
Right.
of the USA Crate Street Stock. That's what I meant. Did I say late models? My bad. Anyway, they even have to now run containment style seats. And
Wow.
I said, wow, some of them boys gonna have more in a seat than they got in the car.
I promise you. And safety, I think safety is where they spend more of their money.
Well,
I mean,
that's spinning right. You can't spin wrong when you're spinning in safety.
No, you can't. You can't at all. But
So
gets
SRI's got
expensive.
all your safety equipment, everything you would possibly need. I was looking on there, and I thought about calling them up and getting a seat from them myself. But then one of our buddies that we sponsor a little bit on his car, he had one. He said, "Hey, come pick this one up." I said, "All right, sounds good."
Can't beat that. Absolutely. But hey, they got the seat inserts. They got cushions. They got everything else you need too. So, got to have all that. But I tell you what, $6,000 or $12,000 or whatever is a lot of money for a racing seat, and I can't see it, bud.
With no leg boards on it either,
How
leg guards or whatever you call them on the side of it.
How? I just don't see it. I swear to God, I don't see it.
Well, I guess, I don't know. I really don't. Obviously, Hendrick Motorsports doesn't mass produce these seats. So I would assume the people that are making the seats there, because I wouldn't imagine they probably don't make but a handful of seats every year for the Cup guys, because they probably use the majority. They just swap out cars with each one.
Right.
And because the way they got them mounted now, they put them bars in the same exact place. They drill them where they need to go, pop them right in there. It's in the exact same spot as it is in every car.
Every car.
So I would assume, I haven't seen their manufacturing process on this seat, that they're probably completely handmade. That would be my assumption, and there's probably a lot of time taken in them seats.
Oh, there definitely is, and they all are fit to form each driver perfectly. So there's a lot involved in it, ain't no doubt about that. But that's just hard to believe.
Gives you a little glimpse into the price of a
race car.
Of a race car, especially NASCAR style car, because they all require. I don't care if you're in ARCA,
trucks, Xfinity, whatever,
Xfinity, Cup. They all require those seats now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. That's just a little drop in the bucket, but that's unbelievable. It really is. But tell you what, man, we have some iRacing again. More iRacing.
More iRacing.
More iRacing. I'm telling you what. Good old Cord of Joy got the pole at Talladega.
Sit on pole. You sit on pole, and I was listening to his podcast actually last week. He was talking about before. He said he was thinking about running that race and selling his rig.
Why is that?
Well, I can't disagree with him. They just had a baby. He just had a baby. Little Levi. And he just he says it's funny because he said pretty sure Levi does not like iRacing. He said because he can take him down there with him because he kind of sits with him at night while his wife's asleep for a little while until it's time for him to feed at like midnight. He said he's on a good schedule, which is cool. But he said he sits down there with him and tries to race a little bit. He's got his headset on, so he don't even have no speakers going or anything. And the baby just pitches a fit down there for some reason. Does not like it. So anyways, he's got a new baby. He's got his hands full right now. And wish I could. You could probably fit in a seat. That's a cool rig he built because he built it. He built it around. I know, but he built it around the Joy seat that they built.
I bet it's awesome.
It's a full containment seat that's in it, and
right.
Yeah, I bet
it's freaking awesome.
It's sweet looking. I looked at it. It's sweet. It's low. It's on the ground.
I would love to have it, but hey, it's really cool. He got him a pole, and he ran
it was so cool.
Great.
It was so cool because the coolest thing about this whole thing was with Corey LaJoy getting pole, and he ended up finishing second to Alex Bowman. But what was so cool about it was the first of the year, Corey, listening to his podcast, he doesn't dislike iRacing, but he's not the biggest fan, and I can understand it because what he said wasn't that he wasn't a fan of racing on there. He said what he wasn't a fan of was NASCAR bringing in the quote-unquote champions of iRacing to Homestead, presenting them with a check, promoting this iRacing, all this stuff, but yet they're not promoting, I don't know, say Myrtle Beach, their NASCAR sanctioned track. They don't promote nothing about the fall race at Myrtle Beach. They don't do. They're really lacking in helping promote short track Saturday night racing.
Right.
So I can 100% agree with him on that. And but what was cool was at the first of the year he was saying that stuff and talking about it. He said, "I've got an iRacing rig," but he was talking about that stuff. Well, Denny Hamlin kind of come on Twitter and kind of talked junk about him. He said, "Well, we've been hearing for years that you could run up front if you were in good equipment. You just been in bad cars for the reason you can't run up front. So now's your chance to prove it on iRacing." And he was kind of like, well, that's not proving anything really being on iRacing because it's nowhere close to the same cars. But anyway, so I just thought it was hilarious that the first time he got on there with those guys, he qualifies pole, goes out there, runs second. Denny Hamlin don't even finish the race.
Yeah, I think it is funny. I know Denny Hamlin's little daughter had a little bit to do with that, but
yeah,
that was cool. Timmy Hill running up front, Corey LaJoy running up front.
Timmy got took out, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
yeah, but he runs
races
up front
overall, running for iRacing. It's really cool to see those guys. It takes a lot of talent. It's a different talent.
It's similar. It's so hard to explain because it's a similar set of skills, but there's differences that you have to feel.
Definitely differences. There's totally a lot of. It's very hard to explain. It's very realistic, but it's very non-realistic at the same time. So, the true thing about it is this is the only thing we got as far as racing goes right now. So,
yeah.
Everybody will be on the same page and running it. Now, William Byron and Alex Bowman even.
Yeah.
I mean, they are well advanced in the sim racing.
Oh yeah,
world,
genre of racing, I guess.
I mean, dude, because they run a lot. I was listening to Kevin Hart for some today, and he's got all these guys helping him out, trying to help him know what's going on, see what's going on around him, crew chiefing, car chiefing, whatever. And I mean, he's just getting into it. But he's doing well. He did very well at Talladega. But William Byron, just for instance, they was in a private practice, and William says, he gets on there and says, let's do a hot pit practice. Everybody's like, no, we don't need that. There's going to be so many cautions, we don't need it. Well, they ended up needing it.
Yep.
They ended up needing it. So that helped them a lot trying to learn that to stay up with the draft in iRacing, because, you can lose 10 seconds.
Dude,
getting on off pit road is very difficult.
It's not easy at all.
It is way different than you would think.
It's the draft is, you learn a lot about it, and you learn the nuances of it in iRacing, really, and you kind of know where you figure out eventually, because you don't know what to begin with, because you will lose a draft in a heartbeat, and you kind of figure out, one, you got to be smoother with the car. That is the hardest thing to do on iRacing for whatever reason, and that's the hardest part to learn for me anyway. You got to be smooth, and you've got to learn so many markings on the track, because when you're drafting, you're behind somebody. You don't see nothing. You see the back of the car in front of you.
You cannot,
and which is good.
You can't even see the inside line, dude.
No, you can't. But I will say, and I will say this because I ran. Terry Odom put up a truck race. What night was that? Sunday night.
Yeah,
I think it was Sunday night. Paid $500 to win. Had some issues in it. Regardless, I ran really good for about 80% of the race. Ran really good. Elliott Sadler, Hermie Sadler, Clint Mills was in it. Let's see who else. Jamie Knopf was in it. A lot of go-kart guys, but some guys kind of bleeding over. Like I said, Hermie and Elliott Sadler were both in it. Well, me and Hermie Sadler started right there together to begin with. Well, knowing that Hermie knows NASCAR racing and drafting, I said, I'm gonna get behind him and I'm gonna push him. And fortunately, I've learned a little bit over time, so I stayed with him. I pushed him. We run up quite a few positions, and then got up there, and there was a few caution stuff. But that's what I was about to say. There were so many cautions.
40-something laps, caution laps. That's ridiculous.
We run out on time limit there. And what it is those guys, Hermie and Elliott, ran great. Clint Mills run great. I ran with Clint right a good bit myself. I ended up leading quite a few laps. I don't remember how many it was, but I ended up leading quite a few, and was running fine up front. Just had to come in. We were because of the cautions, people were on a little bit different cycles of fuel. Wouldn't really worry about tires because we wouldn't wear nothing out as far as tire wise. So I got back there a little bit, and they ended up having some wrecks that I had zero place to go. So took us out the race, but them guys have got to get on there and learn this stuff. If you're gonna race it, learn it, please.
Yeah, well, take your time, man. I mean, I've run super speedways on iRacing a lot, and if you take your time, if you just run your line, if you don't try to jump back and forth and move around all over the place, you're fine. And you will move up to the front, I promise you.
Well, I think watching NASCAR has ruined guys on iRacing because they think that you got to bump draft. You got to come down the back straightaway and you got to slam somebody's bumper. You don't have to.
No.
You can run just as fast without touching them. Well, the guy behind just ride the brake. Just a touch.
Dude, you run half throttle, 3/4 throttle, and stay right up with the draft. No problem.
Yeah.
You just got to take your time.
So,
you got to take your time. But and another thing is, give and take a little bit. Like I said, I do not get people trying to win a race in the first corner, or just trying to push the envelope so quick. There's no reason for it. Just take your time. Everything will play out. It always does. And they're just...
Yeah. And I hope me and you've been making some comments about it. There's been so many people just on iRacing lately. We were on there the other night, and there were 16,000 people. And me and Sterling both remember if there was 1,500 people, that was a good bit on there. And don't get me wrong, I want everybody to race on iRacing. I want them to do, but I think this coming back, NASCAR coming back, be able to have something to watch on TV other than just iRacing. It's going to take these guys the ones that aren't really committed to it. I mean, I ain't trying to steer anybody away from it by no means, but if you're not 100% committed to it, don't do it.
Right.
I mean, and I say that for anything. I tell my son that for football. If you ain't going to be 100% committed to it, don't do it. Learn to race. Learn to race around people. That's the biggest thing. Learn to race around people. That's the biggest reason me and Sterling got on there the other night running dirt cars, because he felt like he could run fine. He just wasn't as smooth and as consistent around people. So we literally got in there doing slide jobs on each other and just running door to door and trying it out. I mean, and that's what y'all guys got to do. If you're going to run this thing, run it respectfully and consistently, and do it right. Do it right, guys.
Well, I mean, we were on 160 laps. It did not take each other out the first time.
No.
And we were side by side, slide job, like you say, the whole time. It did not take each other.
And ran as hard as we could. I mean, we didn't.
That's right. But we gave and take a little bit. I mean, it just takes that little bit, and you don't lose a whole lot of momentum.
And it makes for good looking racing.
It does. It's a lot of fun. So, dirt's a big difference than asphalt.
Well, that's my thing is, like you said, dirt is a big difference in asphalt. And Talladega, there's no more room on a racetrack than there is at Talladega. And yet they want to run all into each other. I understand you got to be close, but you ain't got to run into everybody.
Well, I think a lot of people honestly they're running too low of a ratio on the steering wheel, and they're just all over the place.
Yeah, we learned a little bit about that lately.
They cannot hold their line well enough to run around people. And when you're running a half a car length or half a side length of a car width off of somebody, and you dancing around all over the place, you can't control that. You can't stay behind somebody like that. You can't stay up under somebody like that.
That, and they mirror drive a lot. I ain't gonna lie, I was bad for that when I first started on super speedways, because you wanting to stay in front of that guy behind you, but what you realize is, don't worry about it. Just drive your line.
Yeah, you drive your line. You push the guy in front of you. You gonna be just fine. You stay as smooth as you can. As long as the person behind you stays as smooth as they can, you ain't nobody gonna get around you.
No, so anyway, that's iRacing, and
well, like I said, Jeff Gordon ran, which was kind of interesting. I mean, his first time running, got it up in the fence, way up in the fence, way up in the fence.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Is all them suggestions I just gave for the normal, the everyday guys on iRacing, I think about 90% of the field of the Cup drivers could take that advice also, because that was a teetotal, 100% another wreck fest.
Well, there's been a bunch of them, and I think they're pushing the issue a little bit there. People that really don't care to run, or
well, the sponsors are pushing it,
and I understand it, but it just doesn't look good on national television. It really doesn't.
Not when you're supposed to be the best drivers in the world.
Right. And like I said, there's a big difference in actual racing and iRacing. It really is.
There is, but the casual fan
don't understand.
Can't differentiate that.
They don't. And it's took us a long time to understand iRacing and how to be competitive on there. And there's a lot of gamers, however you want to call them.
Oh, yeah.
That are ridiculous at understanding iRacing that I can't do. But I can go on a go-kart track or a racetrack and I can blister their tail. Ain't no doubt about it. Guarantee you. And so it's
but you got 12-year-old and and mom and daddy's
that runs 14 hours a day.
It runs 14 hours a day because they on lockdown from school, can't go to school, so they do a little bit of schoolwork, and I race, and they're out there just killing us.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with.
And I mean, that's kind of the thing with any racing: seat time, seat time, seat time. If it's iRacing, seat time, you're gonna get better at it. And so that's what I'm telling all the guys: get more seat time, essentially.
Yeah. So anyway, Alex Bowman, like we said, he won. I'm proud to kind of see it stay up in the Hendrick camp. That's cool.
William Byron wouldn't come in there in a few weeks, but the streak still be alive.
Yeah, exactly right. So, but anyway, moving on to this week kind of deal, or later on this week, Ryan Newman, after his horrendous crash, he kind of gets cleared by medical.
Yeah, he got medically cleared
anyway,
and never really heard nothing about NASCAR cleared him. But then all of a sudden they come out and said they was giving him a waiver, so I guess they cleared him.
Obviously, yeah.
I would assume so.
I guess, and leading into that, Matt Kenseth taking over the number 42 Chip Ganassi ride from Kyle Larson, which I really hate for Kyle, I really do, but things happen for a reason. I think he might get led into a little bit of opportunity for him wherever that leads. So we'll see what happens there. But Matt Kenseth he's damn near 50 years old. And I don't think he's ready to finish. I don't think he's ready to retire.
No, he wouldn't.
I think he got pushed into it. But he won in his second to last race of the year.
Yeah, at Phoenix.
In
2017.
In a Joe Gibbs car.
Yep.
So he's coming back to a good car. He really is. So I kind of look forward to seeing what he's going to do there.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, that was a big surprise to me. I did not, and I don't think anybody tagged him to go in that car. I think, because of his last deal where he went back to Roush, it was kind of, oh, well, if he's going to do anything, Roush is going to put him in there. And when Ryan Newman went out, I kind of expected Kenseth to go back in that car. Well, that didn't happen. And he went, he didn't get called up for it. Chastain got called up for it. And so I thought, being the ties with Chastain and Ganassi, all right, Newman's coming back, or whenever Newman comes back, or before even, they're going to put Chastain in the 42. Well, that did not happen at all. Wouldn't Chastain, and we even said maybe McMurray coming back to it. I guess there were some talks there.
Even Carl Edwards.
They said they called Carl Edwards, and he didn't. I guess he didn't want to do it. I don't know what he didn't.
I don't know, but Matt's all over it. Matt likes. He's still into racing. He still wants to do it. It's going to be a challenge for him in the upcoming weeks. But I think he'll perform well in that car. Really
he's going to do amazing, I think. And I was listening to Door Bumper Clear, and Brett Griffin. He probably said it best that the first 6 or so races is going to be really important for Matt Kenseth and Chip Ganassi, because Matt Kenseth, I don't care what car you put him in. When they put him in the 6th car at Roush after Trevor Bayne when they were splitting time with Trevor Bayne, he was still finishing top 10s. So that car, the 42 car, for whatever reason, the first of this year, wasn't looking that good. End of last year wasn't looking that good. So come say the first 6 races, that's really going to tell them something if their stuff is good, if it's not, whatever it is.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's going to take Matt a couple of races, I think, to kind of get back in the swing of things. Plus, there's no practice time. There's no downtime. There's no rest. I mean, this schedule is coming up. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but the kind of, I guess this is what it's going to be. We're going to see what's going to happen. But coming up Sunday, May 17th, Cup Cars at Darlington. It's going to be called the Darlington 400, from what I understand. As far as keeping it Cup Car wise, Wednesday, May 20th, which is 3 days later, right?
Yep.
Cup cars at Darlington. It's going to be the Darlington 310. That's not a whole lot of time to prepare and mentally, physically, whatever, be prepared for a race at Darlington. I mean, that's tough.
Well, let's run through this Cup schedule real quick that we're seeing. It looks like they're kind of going month by month right now. That's what me and Sterling were talking about. I think they're kind of going to go month by month until this whole thing's cleared up and everywhere's just open back up as normal, because I think there's going to be some places get left out this year. I think Sonoma probably going to get left out this year.
I don't know. It's got a good idea of doing it, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so like he said, May 17th, Darlington, 400 mile. May 20th, Darlington, 310 miles. This just Cup stuff. One race that they're going to have back, and I still don't know what they're going to do about crews and stuff like that. May 24th, the governor okayed it to bring on the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte as scheduled. May 27th, right back at Charlotte again. May 31st, they're going to run Martinsville. June 3rd will be Bristol.
A Wednesday night. Hopefully.
Wednesday night.
I'm hoping a Wednesday night. Be a good race on a Wednesday night.
That'd be an awesome race to watch.
I think that'll help. I think that'll really help the midweek stuff.
I really do too. As of right now, the tentative stuff, what I saw, what they got up right now, June 7th, Atlanta. This is the crazy one to me right here. June 14th, Miami. 9,000
degrees.
God, do you know how hot and humid that's going to be?
That's gonna be a slick racetrack, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Woo!
I ain't worried about that. That's going to be some slick seats because they're going to sweat out of them.
They ain't probably nobody gonna be there anyway. I don't know if they're gonna.
I ain't talking about the stands. I'm talking about the cars.
Well, that too. But it's gonna be a hot one. That's for sure. So it's got a lot of good stuff to look at.
Atlanta's gonna be hot.
No, it's gonna be terrible.
They're gonna have to run them night races, I bet.
I say they're gonna have to, but you know, going back, Xfinity cars, they're gonna try to run them on Tuesday, May the 19th at Darlington. May the 23rd, Saturday, ARCA cars at Darlington. At Charlotte, excuse me. Xfinity cars, May 25th was on a Monday at Charlotte.
That's Memorial Day.
Yeah, so
and my wife's birthday, actually.
But hopefully a night race. I don't know. May 26th, the trucks. It's a Tuesday at Charlotte. And then back Wednesday, the 310-mile race at Charlotte. So, I don't know, there's a lot of if, ands, or buts kind of what to see here. But I'm going to tell you what it's going to be is it's going to be a lot of televised racing.
And that's going to be awesome.
I hope and pray there's going to be a lot of good racing going on. While we are broadcasting on the 20th, May 20th, we're going to have a Wednesday night race, I'm assuming, at Darlington. We're going to be kind of watching and televising, talking about kind of as that's going on. The next Wednesday, the 27th, is going to be a cup race at Charlotte as well. So we're going to have a lot going on, a lot to talk about. It's going to be interesting for the teams, for the drivers. From what I hear, they asked for the drivers to stay in their motor coaches or in their cars because they're going to drive down here. Kind of stay in their cars and stay mobile until they're asked to kind of show up at their race car.
Jump in the car. That's it.
So there's not going to be probably much practicing.
Everybody mandatorily has to wear a mask and gloves.
Yeah, also. So it's going to be very, very interesting to kind of see what comes on here. And, are they taking it too far or are they doing whatever? Well, I don't know, whatever. But I'm glad to see we finally get some racing. I'm glad to see that it's time to get back to the normal of some sort. Now, is it going to be normal? Are the people going to be acting normal? Are the people going to be, no, we're not going to be able to go to the racetrack. No, we're not going to watch it. We can drive to the racetrack and hear it. We can do that. We literally 15 minutes from the racetrack.
Yeah, we can't go watch it.
But we can't go watch it.
Can we rent a crane and just...
We could.
somewhere.
We could. I know some people.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
what
never
we
know.
have to do.
Might do that. But no, it's just, I'm glad to see it's finally coming back. Don't really like the way it's coming back, but it's the way it's got to come back. So
Yeah.
at least we got to watch some racing coming up soon.
We were talking about it earlier. What is really, really crazy about it, and I guess I don't know why us NASCAR fans like to talk about money so much, because you don't hear. I mean, you hear football fans talk about, oh, you see such got this $1 billion contract or whatever he got. But NASCAR fans, for some reason, we like to break down each weekend money for some reason. I guess it's because we're so used to short track stuff, and they say, oh, this person made $1,000 a night. We made $400 a night.
Right.
Something like that. And I guess that's
yeah.
where we are with it. But we were talking about it, and it's so hard to understand how these tracks can do it. And I know Darlington is a NASCAR owned track.
I kind of think that's why they're kind of keeping it there. Now, when they go to Charlotte, that's SMI track, of course. So I don't really know how they're getting the money funded to get all this done. But
Well, I heard Bruton and Marcus Smith, they just said no matter what, they wanted the Coca-Cola 600 on
right.
Memorial Day weekend. That's
Right,
what
so
they
that-
wanted.
yeah, so
They didn't care how it had to go down. They just wanted it then.
and they got the money to make that work out. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. There's
That's my thing, because these tracks have to pay each race for sanctioning fees.
right.
I
I don't know how they're going to waive that.
The only way they get
disregard.
return is people in the stands and what they buy in the concourse area.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say what they're doing now. I know what they're doing the new normal or the standard, or what they do on a normal basis. The track or the whatever has to pay a certain fee to get the race to come there, and then they depend on, like you say, on food and parking and whatever to pay that back and to make a little bit of profit. What they're doing now to keep this alive, I don't know. I mean, I can't see how Darlington can lose money by hosting two races that's unscheduled, unplanned at their racetrack. I can't see how that can happen.
This is
So I don't know.
knows?
It's just a little bit to see. It's a little bit to find out. But it's another kind of funny thing that they allow this race coming up on the 17th of May, and from what I'm understanding, a lot of tracks locally to us in South Carolina, whether it be Dillon or Lancaster and Cherokee, and there's a few tracks that's coming up here that are going to try to run, and some of them's not really allowed to run. So I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen there.
yeah. It's there's been some talking, to say the least, going on Facebook, especially. This weekend, Friday night, Lancaster Speedway, they are running the Carolina Clash, and no fans are allowed, which is weird for short track, dirt track racing to me. I can understand it for NASCAR and stuff like that because it's televised. People are still watching. They're still getting TV money. This track is getting $0. But it's going to be on Dirt on Dirt, I think. The $11.99 monthly subscription, and you get it free with your subscription. And then I think Cherokee is running Saturday. And I guess it's the same deal.
I assume, man. It's like you said. I mean, trying to get something started back, trying to get that initial start, whether it be with fans or with not or whatever. I think you got to kind of get that initial start.
Well, it's so weird because in saying all that, Ron Barfield over at Dillon Motor Speedway, and he posted online. They sent an email to the governor's office asking if they could run, and essentially they told them they were non-essential, could not run. So
well, and like we're kind of getting into Mr. Terry Odom. He's pushing the little race coming up here at Paradise coming this weekend.
That's right.
And we all for it with him. And I don't know how many people know, but Paradise is not far at all from Dillon Motor Speedway.
It's in the same county,
so
a few miles down the road.
I don't really understand the whole deal, kind of where people allow it or don't allow it or whatever, fans or no fans. Mr. Terry has asked for everybody to keep social distancing in mind and stay away from everyone and just be respectful of everybody. And
they're giving masks out at the gate if you want them.
Exactly.
They're having hand sanitizer around the track, and plenty of soap. And
yeah, I can't see where that's a bad thing. So, he's trying to get something started back. Like I said before, you got to get that initial start. You got to start somewhere. So everybody be mindful and be respectful. If you don't like it, if you don't think it should happen, then don't go.
Stay home.
If you think you should stay home and quarantine, and if you think it's better to go to Walmart with 7,000 some bitching people, if you think that's more justifiable, then go to Walmart. Don't go to the racetrack. But I'm sorry. I apologize. But this ain't right. How can I go to Walmart? I think I said this last week.
I think you said it for a couple of weeks, but go ahead.
Okay. And I'm just using it for example. Or Lowe's or wherever in the hell ever. How can I go there and buy wood or screws or toilet paper or whatever?
No, you ain't buying no toilet paper.
Or
can't find it.
All right. Tissue paper or something. How can I go to those stores with a parking lot full of people and it's perfectly legal? But I cannot go to a racetrack and park 20 foot from somebody and stay away from somebody and race. How is that frowned upon? I do not understand that. I don't get it.
I don't understand it either. It's I guess I see the part where the governor or whoever don't want people sitting in the stands at places right on top of each other. I can understand that. But this is my thing, and and like I said, I don't want to get political, but back in 1776, there was this little document wrote declaring our freedom, and I feel like I should have the freedom to choose. And if I want to sit in the stands with other people, that should be my right. If I don't think it's a good idea, stay my tail at home. Yeah. Don't sit there with them. That's how I feel about it. And that's not a popular opinion, obviously. There's been a lot of people trying to kick back on tracks, trying to run, but these businesses got to get started back up.
Gotcha, man. We got to keep going. We can't just quit society because of this damn virus of whatever extent it is they think it is or believe it is or want to fake people into thinking it is, whatever. But that's for another day. But bottom line is Paradise is running.
They are running Saturday, May 2nd. They will be there right off exit 1. What exit is that?
161.
161. 161.
Is it 61? I don't think it's 61. Anyway, it's somewhere up there. It's like 38 exit, whatever it is.
That's a highway.
That's what I'm saying. Regardless, anyway. I know where it's at. Don't know the exit. I don't look at the exit.
Look up Paradise Raceway.
Just go to it, whichever it is. If you're gonna have negative comments, if you're gonna have negative thoughts, don't go. But if you want to sit in your truck and you can pull up to the racetrack and watch good racing, finally again, and praise that and help promote that, please go and enjoy yourself. It's my anniversary this weekend, so I'm probably not going to be going. But if it was not,
I'm sorry, not 161. It's at 181.
181. I knew it was 80 something. I thought, but anyway,
I go backwards. My bad. Yeah, Sterling's anniversary is this weekend, so
yeah.
he can't go.
So I'm going to tell y'all I ain't going to be there, but
me and my son might ride out there.
there you go. If you get a chance, go out there. Just listen. Go out there. Support racing starting back. You got to have that initial start. You got to promote that initial start to see it happen. If the governor sees that 800 people went to Paradise and 805 people survived Paradise and didn't get damn whatever from it, guess what that's going to mean? That means we can promote racing a little bit more. So let's enjoy it. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Mr. Terry is giving it. He's sticking his neck out there trying to make it happen. So, like I said, people that's against it, don't talk about it. Don't frown upon it. Just don't go. People that want to give it a shot, want to give it a chance, and want to social distance their self like he's asking people to do, and give their effort to race, give their effort to watch, go for it. By all means, go for it. Enjoy it. The people that don't like it, people that frown upon it, go to Walmart and get some damn napkins or something and stand around all them sumbitches that you don't know and think you ain't getting something. Just go on and do it. Wear your mask and wear your stuff and just touch your face and stuff with your gloves.
Put your gloves on. Then
put your gloves on and touch your face. Put your gloves on, touch your phone, because that's perfectly safe. I'm just letting y'all know.
He done got fired up.
I'm pissed off. I'm about to go home.
Oh, dang. Oh, anyway. Well, so we racing this weekend. If y'all couldn't tell. Paradise Racing. Off that exit 181. The ladder exit.
As soon as you pass the big old humongous
you see a
American flag,
ginormous American
Sula's
flag.
Barbecue, take a right.
Take a right. There. You're there. It's one of the nicest tracks. Period. Go-kart tracks. One of the nicest facilities for a go-kart race. Period. Ever built. You'll go there, enjoy yourself, put on some good racing, watch some good racing, get back a little bit of normalcy. So
let's do it.
Let's do it to it, and let's go out there and support it. If you can't make it, I know everybody can't by no means. I know somebody will have it streaming on Facebook or something, so watch it on the race monitor or whatever. Check it out. Anyway, we want to thank again SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Draco Springs. Want to thank them for being our presenting sponsor. Y'all go to them for all your racing needs. Everything you need, anywhere from diesel to off-road to obviously oval track, dirt oval, asphalt oval, drag racing, everything in between. Whatever you need, they got it. They even have, like we said earlier, stuff for sim rigs. They can hook you up, used parts, new parts, everything you need to build a race car.
Absolutely. Also, I'd like to thank Corey Gordon for kind of flying our colors and supporting us on the Thursday Night Thunder coming up tonight, actually. You guys are hearing this. It'll be tonight. Again, Lanier, it'll be on NRN Network coming
NRN, up. The National Racing Network.
Yep, check it out. We will have us a link on our Facebook page. David will share it. I'll share it, whatever. Just check it out. Definitely watch it. Tag yourself in it. Say something. Say you're here listening on behalf of Chicken Bone Alley, whatever. We're going to be helping broadcast that episode or that race. So definitely check in, tune in, whatever. It's going to be an exciting race. I really think it is.
I think it is too. Also, on a little side note, I ain't going to put it all out there yet. We got a couple more things in the works as far as some sponsoring some iRacing series. And we'll touch on them as soon as we get some definitive answers on that. So y'all be on the lookout. Some more iRacing from us, because that's what we do.
That's what we do. Again, 300 Customs. Check him out.
300 Customs.
You guys get into iRacing. He's very he's easy to work with. He's not crazy on cost. Get you some awesome paint schemes set up like you want them. Get you your one-of-a-kind paint scheme.
Yeah, that's the cool thing is there's so many paint schemes out there. You can get on Trading Paints. You can download Chase Elliott's paint scheme. You can download, I don't know, Dale Earnhardt's paint scheme. Mark. I don't care. You can download any of them, but it's not yours. It's not yours.
Yep.
Send Darren at 300 Customs a message on Facebook. Tell him what you want. He gets to get you set up with a good deal. And have a car of your liking, whatever you want on it, and it's your car. It's the way you want it. So y'all check him out. But anyway, you got anything else?
I think that's it, but I'm done.
Yeah, we've rambled on long enough tonight. So go support your local racetrack. If you can't go to it, watch it, support it, do whatever you can. These races, like I said, coming up, Lancaster, Cherokee, I think they're going to be Paradise, whatever's online,
some sort.
Whatever's online that you can't get to, watch it if you can. So let's support some racing. Let's get out of this quarantine mess. So anyway, I reckon I'm out of here.
Later.